LisaT coming at you with some positive energy. Reading The Language of Letting Go by Melody Beattie. Me, LisaT, coming at y'all. I feel like I want to be a radio announcer or something when I say that now these days. So yeah, we are reading July 16th. Insisting on the best. Woo! Hard to do that, I think. Family button. Yep. Hard to do that. Insisting on the best. We got to know we deserve, and then we have to know we deserve, and then require that of our environment, and the environment being people, places, and things around us. Insisting on insisting on the best for ourselves, right? I just was walking Gordy in the park, and apparently there's I'm wearing socks and shoes, but it keeps continually biting my ankles, so I'm just itching a little there. Okay, so insisting on the best, July 16th. We deserve the best life and love have to offer, but we're each faced with the challenge of learning to identify what that means in our life. What does that mean? What does the best of life and love mean in your life, in our life? We must each come to grips with our own understanding of what we believe we deserve, what we want, and whether we are receiving it. Knowing what you deserve, knowing what you want, and then seeing if you're receiving it. There's only one place to start, and that is right where we are in our current circumstances. The place we begin is with us. Am I providing the best for myself? Am I loving myself the most? Am I enriching my life with joy and happiness? Am I providing that for myself? Am I doing the actions that are required for me to receive a joyful life, right? So, what hurts? What makes us angry? What are we whining and complaining about? Are we discounting how much a particular behavior is hurting us? Are we making excuses for another person, telling ourselves we're too demanding? I remember in the past thinking, I was like, oh, that's going to make me needy. If I voice this, that's going to make me needy. And so I got to this place where I was so scared to be needy that I demolished all of my needs. I pushed all of my needs way down to the point where I became so codependent. I just kind of convinced myself, and I said it enough times that I thought it enough times that it became a belief that I really don't have no needs and it's all good, and nope, I'm okay with everything, and that's part of people pleasing too. So, are we discounting how much a particular behavior is hurting us? Are we making excuses for another person, telling ourselves we're too demanding or too needing? I'll add lib. Are we reluctant for a variety of reasons, especially fear, to tackle the issue in our relationships that may be hurting us? Do we know what's hurting us, and do we know that we have a right to stop our pain if we do that, if we want to do that? So do we know what's hurting us? So even the psyche is so it's so convoluted. Is that a word? It's so it's got so many layers, learning, I've expressed in many videos, I only learned to be honest with myself just a few years ago. I remember the epiphany. I'm like, oh my God, I'm not being honest with myself. So then just, recently going, oh, that's a need of mine. I did a list with a friend, and it was needs and wants. And after we did that, we compiled it into actual needs, and from a list of 20 things, it became down to 5 actual real needs, but so I've had to learn what my needs are, because it's about tapping in to ourselves, right? So do we know what's hurting us, and do we know that we have a right to stop that? Learning that I have a right to put up a boundary. That's what that would be, right? Putting up a boundary, if you want to do that. We can begin the journey from deprived to deserving. I talked about this in a recent video about this poverty mindset I have. There's been moments where I'll wait till my fridge is just condiments and bread. And it's crazy. I have the money to go buy groceries. I have a vehicle to go get them. The grocery store is 5 minutes away. But I had this old poverty mindset that will still drive my behaviors. The mindset will drive the actions. The mindset will drive the behavior. So that's why it's so important to have positive attitude and positive and love for yourself, because that thinking, that feeling inside of yourself is going to drive your actions, behaviors, and the words that come out of your mouth. So we can begin the journey from deprived to deserving. We can start it today. We can also be patient and gentle with ourselves. I have one friend in particular, she's really good at the self-love piece, and in particular the being gentle on herself. She's like trying to instill that into me, be gentle and kind on myself. I'm so hard on myself. So if like one little thing feels icky for me, I first go to self-blame, then self-hate even, and then I'm like torturing myself about how I should have done it differently, instead of just like learning from that and moving on and being gentle and knowing that I'm a human, not perfect. No, there's going to be bumps. There's going to be mistakes. I'm going to say something I regret maybe, or I'm going to say something that maybe doesn't, feel good for another person, or I'm going to, express myself maybe in, not in the most direct way or something at times, because I'm always learning. The point is that I reflect and then I look within and I try to do better the next day. That's what's important for all of us. That's just that we try to do better tomorrow. So we start today. We can also be patient and gentle with ourselves as we travel in important increments from believing we deserve second best to knowing in our hearts that we deserve the best and taking responsibility for that. Deserving the best and taking responsibility for that. Whew, good stuff. If you can master this, woo, watch out, life. Here she comes. Here he comes. Okay, here's your prayer for today. Today, I will pay attention to how I allow people to treat me and how I feel about that. I will also watch how I treat others. I will not overreact by taking their issues too personally and too seriously. I will not underreact by denying that certain behaviors are inappropriate and not acceptable to me. You're allowed to have your thoughts. You're allowed to have your feelings. The feelings aren't always based on facts, but they're still your feelings and thoughts. They just kind of come. So it's what we do with them. It's what we do with them that matters. That's it. Have an amazing day loving yourself. Thanks for watching.